Let's go. Welcome to Ask Me Anything number 17, my podcast. I'm Coach Prez, football coach, self proclaimed blue belt philosopher, and undefeated MMA fighter with a record of 0 wins, no losses, and 1 pullout. What we do is we talk about sport and philosophy here, mostly football, and obviously everything else. So, how it works is I always start with sport first, football, and then we go into anything else. I just answer questions. So if anyone has any questions, just send them to me. Doesn't matter where, just anywhere, comments or wherever. All right. So I'm not gonna waste any time. We jump straight into it. I've got some nice questions about football today. So finally, we can talk about it a bit more because lately we've been talking more about the other side of it, philosophy. So whoever's not interested in football, you can go into the description, I think, yeah, and just check the timestamps, skip ahead, go on, listen to whatever you want to listen to. Okay? I try to do the best. I try to give you the best of both worlds. Some people like it, some people don't. I certainly like it, so that's why I do it. All right, so the first question that I got is, by what age should I be pro? Okay, so what the latest? All right, so what is the by what age should I have turned pro? All right, so obviously the first answer that comes to my mind is as long as you're not too old, so out of your physical prime, you can always turn pro. It's always possible. Even I would say, obviously, I'm including exceptions now. Is it likely? Probably not. But all the way until you're 40, you can probably turn pro. There's many different ways of doing it. To be honest, I plan on doing it maybe when I turn 40 or 45 and I'm coaching my own professional men's team. Just give myself my debut. Sub coming on, coach is on, and that's it. But all right, so but realistically now, I would say you if you haven't turned pro by 24, 23, 24, it's gonna be highly unlikely that things are gonna happen. Very unlikely. It's still possible, but it's gonna be very unlikely. One reason why is because, let's say you're working really hard and you're 23 and you're still trying to go pro, to still put in that amount of work that is required, to stay sharp, stay fit, to keep looking for opportunities. That's gonna take out a lot of your energy and just everything. So it requires a big investment. So are you gonna be willing to make it when you're 20, 23, 24? You're looking at your friends, they're all, oh, this guy just graduated from this university, this guy from that university, this guy's got a job, he's saving for his house, and then here I am, I'm investing everything into just into myself, just training for something that is highly unlikely now. So it would be good if you can do it before you're 20. That's ideal. If you can't, then 2021. I would say people start looking at you as if you're old in football when you're 22, probably 23. Now you're old. You're a mature player. Messi at 23 or 24 had 3 Ballon d'Ors, just as to put things into perspective. 3 Ballon d'Ors at 24. He was already discussed, as one of the best players of all time. Is that the greatest player ever? At 24, imagine. Well, anyway, not everyone is Messi, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, ideally 20, 21, 22, the latest. That's what I would say. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it impossible? No. Especially if you live here in England, I would say it's quite easy to play football here. So many teams. Think about it. You've got 5 professional leagues, and then you've got probably how many more? All the way until semi-pro. I can't even count how many semi-pro teams there are over here. So as long as you can get to a semi-pro level, which is like just good, and you can play, then you never know. You might get noticed, you might not. That's I'm talking. If you haven't played for an academy, if you've played for an academy and you don't go pro, then my personal opinion is you've got some sort of weakness, mental weakness. You've gotten to an academy, you've been fortunate enough to get into an academy, and then you didn't go pro, you probably quit, most likely, unless you got injured or whatever. You quit most likely. So yeah, people haven't that didn't manage to get to an academy for whatever reason, that doesn't mean it's over. It's just less likely now. But you can still work very hard, work very hard, work very hard, get to a semi-pro team, and then try your luck there. See if it works out for you. Maybe it does. But yeah, I know people get discouraged too easily. If you compare football, because it's such a big industry, obviously it's so popular, and people look at you've got very striking examples. Oh, this guy's 17 or 18, he's already pro. Oh, if I am not there at that age, then I'm not going to make it. There is thousands of teams, okay? Millions of players all around the world. It's not that difficult, okay? Compare football to any other sport. Most other sports, you can turn pro at a much later age. No one says anything. No one counts you out. Let's say in MMA, if you're 24 and you're not pro, okay, mate, you take your time. You can turn pro when you're 27, but it's all because it's up to you, kind of. It's a bit more up to you. In football, you're dependent on other people, and other people they've got they're biased. They already have their own ideas and views, which have been ingrained from just the widely accepted view, which is, oh, you need to be pro by 19. Okay, why? Especially moving forward, obviously the game is gonna get more and more difficult and complex, but I think things are gonna change in the future. At least I hope they do. Why? Because you've got better technology nowadays. People can extend their careers into their 40s now. We've got plenty of examples of players playing at elite level into their late 30s. 15 years ago, that wasn't the case. You turn 30, 31, 32, you're basically done. Okay, you're old news. Nowadays, 35, you can still be in your prime, to be honest. A lot of players are 33, 34, and it seems like they look like they're 29. So it's different nowadays, and hopefully because of that, now the age when you enter football can go up a little bit as well. That's my hope, and I believe it will happen. So as long as you want to be a football player, you work really hard, consistently, and you're smart. Okay, that's if you don't have anyone to feed you, to kind of spoon feed you. Who gets spoon fed? The academy players. If you're not there, then you need to work really hard and be really disciplined and very smart with your approach to your training, so you don't really fall behind. Yeah, it's still possible. It's just more difficult, but it's possible. And you've got, especially for a 15, 16-year-old. If I'm 16 or 17 now and I live here, I would say I like my chances. No academy, whatever. So yeah, it's possible. There is always time, as long as you don't quit. Now, when you're gonna quit, that's your choice. So that's that. I hope I've clarified that. That is now clear. All right. Next one. Okay. Um, Key mental and physical skills young players need to develop in their teens to succeed. So, key mental and physical skills. Okay, physical skills to develop in your teens, whatever sport you do. Okay, you want to make sure that you maximize your coordination and your ability to move. Now I'm gonna expand on this. Just make sure you understand what I'm saying. Coordination and your ability to move. Okay, because the older you get, what happens? You try to learn a new move. It's difficult. Why? Because the way your body moves, you get into patterns. Okay, and as you grow older and older, let's say imagine a tree. Yeah, there is this tree outside. It's still young. If you bend it, yeah, it's much easier to bend. If you bend it and let's say you tie it with a rope somewhere, you can change the way it grows much more easily. Imagine when the tree is old and now you want to change it, you can't anymore. It's almost the same with people, okay, and with learning, especially learning movement. Movement is very difficult to learn. People associate like football players and basketball players, know these guys, that they're stupid, oh, this guy is an idiot, he's just an athlete, well, he just does that, blah blah blah. But no, it's very difficult. There is completely different, you can call it like type of intelligence that you need to have to be able to move your body so well. So when you're young, it's very important, especially in your teens, you start to kind of get conscious. Um, you start to kind of come into your own now. Okay, you think you're an adult. It's very important to understand this. Develop your ability to move your body. Football context, work on your weak foot. The earlier you work on your weak foot, the better, because it's easier. You can still improve your weak foot when you're 20, but it's much easier to do it when you're 15. It's just your brain works different. Yeah, you know, if you think about it, you know less things. You've got like 5-10 years less knowledge than other people. Your body has been moving in the patterns that it has been moving for less time. So it's much easier to add new patterns and new things. Does that make sense? Than it is when I'm 25 now and just now I'm starting to do something new, to whatever. Think about like boys and girls. Let's say girls that do gymnastics or ballet, or boys that do karate or taekwondo, some kicking sport, yeah, kicking combat sport. Look at how flexible they are. Why are they so flexible, even into their adulthood, without, although they've already stopped practicing whatever they were? Because they developed that flexibility when they were young. That's why. Like for me, I for me it's not possible almost now. I'm It's gonna take such an effort to get to a full split. It's just, it's too much. But I'm 26. If I was 15 or 16 and I was trying, really working on my flexibility, really trying to get into a split, it would have been much easier now. But you need to force your body, you need to teach your body as much as possible in terms of movement, because then when it's too late, it's too late, especially when it's sports, because you only have a limited window in your prime. I've said it before. When I think about it, that's why I work out, and I don't plan on stopping working out intensely. Not to the gym, I'm training. Combat sports at the moment, That's that, okay? That's what I've decided to do. But not just one, multiple. And I'm doing it like intensely 5 days a week. Obviously, at the moment I'm injured. That doesn't matter. I don't want to get off topic. Why? Because I understand. I have 3.5 years and then I'm 30. When I'm 30, physically, I'm gonna start going backwards. Sounds very dark, 3.5 years. You know how many days this is? That's 1,200 days I've got from my prime, physical prime. You reach your peak, physical peak in terms of sprinting. So basically, powering, explosiveness at 29. I don't have time. I don't want to waste it. I don't want to look back when I'm 40 and go, oh shit. Why did I not do more? I wanted to do more. So yeah, this is why I don't want to waste time. I only have 1,200 days left in my prime, and then I'm going backwards. So I want to do as much as possible. Okay, it would be so nice if young people, like teenagers, can realize that same thing about learning stuff, especially physical. Learn how to move your body. The impact is unbelievable. First of all, you're gonna be much better at sports. Whatever sport you pick up, you're gonna take to it very easily. Okay, that's gonna be good for you. It's good for your health. You're gonna be stronger. Your body is gonna be able to move better. When you're an adult, you can do more things. You're more capable. It's less likely for you to get injured. You're healthier. Being healthier and being physically stronger has got a direct impact into how well you maintain your IQ as you grow older. The benefits just outweigh the sacrifice that you need to make. Sport, 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 sport. Learn to move. Okay, learn how to move. Stop just doing whatever's comfortable, especially to get back to the topic, because I go a bit off topic as usual. Key mental and physical skills. Okay, mental and physical skills. How to move. This is both. Okay, a lot of people, they only do whatever's comfortable. Oh, I know this at the moment. I'm doing this. I'm just shooting there, and I stick to shooting because I'm good at shooting. Okay, football context. But my first touch is shocking. Well, start working on your first touch and keep challenging yourself. Okay, I've got a good first touch. Okay, then go on your weaker foot. You need to be able to do it. You need to be a mirror image of yourself with your weak foot in terms of football, and that's difficult, and that's going to be challenging up here. Okay, it's not working. No, if it's not working, if your weak foot is not good enough, film it. Look at the mistakes you're making. Is your arm here and you're off balance? Lift your arm, have the bar, fix the balance, fix your posture, and all that stuff. Okay, plenty of things to work on. Okay, but everything needs to be, not everything, but you need to challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Okay, that kind of feels comfortable now. Okay, what's the next thing that I'm not comfortable with? The more things you do that with, eventually you're gonna be like, I'm comfortable with everything. And you become a machine. That's very important, and everyone then can use that. If you're looking to be a football player or whatever else you're looking to be, yeah, to succeed at the highest level, we're keeping a football context. You're like a Swiss Army knife. I'm generalizing here. If you've got some sort of a special superhuman ability or talent, let's say you're ridiculously quick, amazing winger, super, super, ultra rapid feet or whatever, okay, mate, you do you. But for most people that are kind of normal, become a Swiss Army knife. The coach says, I need this. I need someone to do this and that job. Yeah, I can do it. Oh, I've got a knife. I've got a corkscrew. I've got a screwdriver. But I've got a little handsaw or whatever. But I've got this. You can do everything because you've worked on everything. You don't have weaknesses in your game. That's what I did, to be honest. So I think this is the best advice. Unless obviously everyone is different and you've got your individual traits and skills, but in your teams you need to challenge yourself and develop everything because it's much easier. You can work on your one deadly skill, let's say finishing move. If you're in Mortal Kombat, you can work on that as you grow older, but you're already good at that particular thing. You can just tune it a little bit, fine tuning, boom boom boom, calibrate it, make it really sharp when you're older. But it's going to be very difficult to build that good balanced base when you're old. Also because you have less time when you're old. So yeah, teens, movement. Okay, next question. Spending about 10 minutes on each. That's not bad. All right. Key mental and physical skills. What's next? Okay. All right. Actually, before I move on to the next one, I was talking about physical skills. Mental skills in your teens. That's a big one. Okay. Key mental skills to develop. You need to succeed, at the highest level. Still, we're talking about football. Mental skills. You need to understand, because a lot of people don't. At the highest level, if we're talking about the highest level of the game, you need to be very sharp mentally, and your understanding of the game eventually will determine where you end up. Okay? Why? Your understanding of the game dictates what you do when you're on the ball, off the ball. It just dictates how you play. Yeah, because how you understand the game, that's just the way that you're gonna play it. It's straightforward. I don't need to explain the link there. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means on the top level, everyone can control the ball, everyone can receive it, everyone can turn, everyone can pass, everyone can move. Okay, so what separates, like, for example, a player like Jorginho? Nothing special in terms of physicality. Technique, is there anything special there? No. Does he play some very fancy pass? No. He's got nothing special about him that is physical or technical. Why was he a good player? Or it wasn't my favorite player, but why was he a good player? Because up here he was sharp. He was ahead. He knew what to do. He knew when to take what decision. So this is what separated him. And there is so many other examples. I'm just giving you this one because it just came to my mind. So many others. Do you think at the top level, I can find you like 1,000 quick wingers with like 90 pace and 80 dribbling and 75 passing and shooting? There is probably 1,000 of them professional. I can probably find, like, skill for skill, maybe another 20,000 of them that are not that don't play football anymore. They just play for fun. Why? Because these other guys that obviously did nothing with their skill, they just up here they didn't have enough. Does that make sense? They didn't want to listen. They didn't want to work. They didn't have the attitude. They weren't serious. They smoked. They liked to party. They didn't want to work on themselves. Okay? That's the difference. You need to understand that as much as I know football is about playing, skill, la 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 la, all the fun stuff. on the ball, kick ups around the world. Look at me, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm mildly warm, and everything else. At a certain level, it's all about your mental capacity, let's call it that, or skill. Because you need to make decisions in the game. The game comes down to decisions. What first touch did you decide to use? This is not going to come down to your technique. There is a decision to be made first. This is where the skill is. It's mental. It's a mental sport. As Johan Cruyff said, the most influential person in the history of football, Johan Cruyff, he said, you play football with your head, meaning with your brain, and your feet are there to help you, which is a genius quote. I love it. And it's exactly that. But if you don't develop, if you're not sharp up here, it's going to be difficult for you to play. At the highest level, also another thing, the game moves at a very, very high speed. The pace is crazy. The ball is fine. Pop, 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 pop. You know, especially if you play in the middle and you go there and you're like, you don't have time to turn. You don't have time to receive the ball now because you're not prepared. Your brain is kind of going crazy. You're not used to that gear, so you don't have that. You're not used to that speed yet. But it's not your body that cannot do it. Your brain cannot compute the game at that speed, so you get overwhelmed and you're like, oh shit. And then I say, yeah, no, this guy, skill for skill, you might be the best out of all the whole group, but all the other guys are used to that pace. Boom, 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 boom. Their brain works quickly enough. Okay. And people think, oh no, he just didn't have the skill. No, mate, the skill is not the skills. Like, if you break every individual skill in football down, it's not that difficult. What's difficult is doing it at pace. And what makes it difficult is because you have less time to receive information. Okay, your eyes, boom, information comes in, sends a signal to your brain, and your brain knows what to do. Your brain says, boom, right foot, put it there, left foot goes forward, you receive with your right foot, you turn your body, and then with the next step, you step and you release the ball. This is what the problem is. It's not some magical stuff. Oh, he doesn't have it. It's too difficult for him. I don't believe in that. It's just up here. People are not sharp enough. Let's say even me now. If I get put now in a situation just around like professional players, it's like pop 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 pop. They're gonna if I just do like one session, they're gonna like, this guy is shocking. But if I have a month to prepare, okay, to play, to go out now and start working on my touch, working on turning, because I know what the problem. Just working on first time pass, or receive pass, or just turning, sharp. Because that's where you get confused the most, to be honest, is when you're turning, when you have to turn with the ball, or when you have to check your shoulders. Is this that confuses you the most if you think about it? Everything else is quite easy, to be honest. What else is there? Can you receive? Can you control the ball from a long pass? Yeah. Can you play first time? Yeah, if I know who I am playing it to. Yeah. But if I'm in the middle of the pitch and I've got players all around me moving, then it gets confusing, because you need to have seen where you want to play or go. Or when you're in the middle, you need to have checked your shoulders so you know, he's passing it to me. Can I turn? Okay. Even if you have the skill to turn, but you haven't checked your shoulder, then you're still fucked. Or, sorry, you're in an unfavorable position. Let's put it this way, because I shouldn't swear. Right? And then what was the difference? Was it that you're physically unable to receive and go because you've got a ton of space behind you? No. The problem was what? You didn't check your shoulder. And what does that come down to? Up here. Or maybe, no, I was tired, man. I've been running for 40 minutes. I'm tired. I just forgot. It's just one little thing. Well, you forgot because your brain wasn't prepared for the stress and for the focus that you need to have when you play at that speed. You can't switch off. So that's it. That's the mental aspect. Just, yeah. This is just one thing that I could focus out of a million. So if anyone's got any other questions about anything I said, maybe you feel like I missed something or you've got like a counter argument, throw it in. You know, I'm not here to be a dictator or whatever it's called. Oh, I say whatever I say goes is law. No, if anyone ever thinks that you've got a good counter argument, let me know, you know, and we can have a little discussion. I can read it and this thing and say, okay, this makes a little bit of sense. You've got a point. There's my answer. I would say, no, this is not right because blah, 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 blah. And we move from there. So this, I could say that this is now, I've completed this question. I've given a complete answer. Okay. Kind of answer this. All right, next one. We move on now from football and we go into anything else. I think it's time. Half an hour in, we're good to go. We're doing well. How to plan a productive day. All right. The most important thing that is difficult to understand, and a lot of people kind of miss the point. What it is if you wanna how to plan a productive day. So you wanna basically you wanna be more productive. You wanna increase the levels of your productivity. What people think happens is you're living your life, you are the way you are, then one day, boop, you wake up, oh yeah, let's go. I've changed now, I'm disciplined, I'm this, I'm that. No, it doesn't happen that way. It's a very slow process, step by step, step by step. You get to a certain point, then you're gonna fail. Then you're gonna go back into doing nothing. Then you'll start again, you'll get to somewhere else, then you're gonna fail again. Most people get into that circle. Okay, and it's a bit similar. What I can compare it to is to a fighters having a fight camp. That's how most people live their lives. Okay, a fighter's got a fight camp. So what do? They start training really hard. Okay, the training picks up. They start working on their cardio and everything else because they need to be sharp. They need to have the fitness. The sparring becomes harder now. Okay, because they need to be ready. You know, they need to be ready to go. So everything picks up, but it's not sustainable. That's why it's called training camp, because you can only do it for 7, 8, 10 weeks, whatever the camp is, however long it is, right? And after that, they need a little bit of a break because it's too much. It's too much for the body, it's too much for the mind. The stress is too much. It's just too much. Full stop. Same with people when they're trying to be productive, change themselves and everything. Oh, from tomorrow I'm gonna wake up 4 o'clock, go out, do a 5K, come back home, meditate. Then I'm gonna make a breakfast. I'm gonna cook my own eggs. Then I'm gonna go out, go and work or go to school. Come back from school, go to the gym. Come back from the gym, do my homework. Then go out, do an individual football training session. Then come back home, eat dinner, and then read 50 pages from my book. It doesn't work like that, okay? I've been like that before. I've tried many. I've tried almost everything to do with productivity. I've done it, to be honest. I'm 26 now. I've been trying things since I was. When did I actually start? I remember the first summer. I was 13. Yeah, and I was like, this summer was I 13? 13 or 12. I was like, this summer I'm gonna be waking up every day 7 o'clock and by 8 o'clock I will be outside and I'll be working out. I lasted about maybe 5 days, and then I started making excuses. I was like, when I go out in the morning and I work out, then I don't really have enough energy when in the afternoon when I'm playing football, when I have training sessions, so there is no point doing it. Not that I can't, it's just no point. So I started making excuses. Okay. Well, it was excuses. I just couldn't do it. I just didn't see the point. To be fair, I did feel a bit tired. When I was 13 and I wanted to have like between 12 and 15 sessions a week. That's a bit much, to be honest. Especially the workouts that I was doing sprints and jumps and all that stuff. So it was really taxing on the body. So I was tired. But yeah. So yeah, I've been trying for solid 10, 12 years. I've been trying different things and it never worked. Never. From today, I'm going to start reading. And then I never start. I do it 2 days or 3 days, and then I'm done. So I know exactly what we're talking about. How you plan a productive day is, first, you want to look at your day as a whole. All right. What do I do every day? Try and make, if you want, I know this is gonna sound like life hacks and all that, but no. Let's be serious now. Can we sit down? Usually, I'm not one to write stuff down, but it might be helpful. If you want to write stuff down, do that. If not, just have a think about it. Think about your day. Just a normal average day. Okay, if a day is too little for you to think about your week. Okay, break down, let's say, last week. If you go, oh, but last week I had half term or it was bank holiday or something like that. No, your last normal week, which means 5 days of school or 5 days of work, weekend, this, and just normal average week. What do you do on an average week? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What is it? And try and find the pattern. It's about spotting patterns. These patterns, what are they? They're your habits. You can call it a habit. If you come home, you go straight into bed and you're on TikTok for an hour, that's a habit, okay? Good or bad, it doesn't matter. It is a habit. Try and find your habits and try and see which ones kind of are very consistent. And with, let's say, you might do something else twice a week. I do that. That's still a habit. Although it's twice a week, it's still a habit. Okay. So let's say, for example, what I do. Friday. No. Once a week I go to the cinema. Okay. Friday evening or Saturday evening, I go to the cinema, and it's basically every single week. I almost don't skip. Is that a habit? Yeah, that's a habit. All right. So this goes into my habit section or week section or whatever you want to do. All right. Try and do that with everything. Everything that you do consistently, not even repetitively. It happens every week. Have a look at that. All right. So then what you want to do is you want to find. Now I'm not gonna kind of blow your mind. I'm gonna give you something that is real and useful. What you want to do is you want to try and get rid of the thing that you think is gonna be the easiest to get rid of, and in that thing's place you want to add something that is better. All right. Or let's say if you can't get rid of anything, but you make some space, when you are adding something which you're going to consider productive, try and put it, like, find Find space for it, for that new thing that you're going to be adding, which is going to increase your productivity. Find a place for it, but make sure it's easy to do. It's easy for you to do. Make it enjoyable for you. If it's too challenging, you're not going to stick to it. If I say from tomorrow I'm going to be reading 50 pages a day for my book, is it possible to do? Probably not, maybe not. For me personally, it is. For most people, it's not. Find an easy way to do the good things, an enjoyable way. Another example, how do I enjoy reading my books or listening to my books? Okay, reading books is difficult. I listen to a lot of books. I read some, I listen to a lot. So how have I made it so where I can be consistent, regardless of what happens in my life? I'm reading the books. Why? Because I found a way to make it easy for myself. So what do? I put my headphones in. If I'm at home, yeah, headphones on. Boom, I sit down. I open my Red Bull. I put my book on, pop. And maybe I can clean my room if I want to. Maybe, that's one thing. I can play my little game. I found the perfect game, which takes nothing from my mental. It's just, I'm just like a robot, just in order not to fall asleep. When you're just basically just sliding. And I'm listening to my book. And I go into a state of flow or whatever. That is pleasant for me. Okay? So I found a way to make this very productive habit pleasant. I enjoy it. Nice, yes. I just listened to my book for an hour. This is about 50 or 60 pages, to be honest. Like 40 or 50 pages, depending on the speed of the reader. There you go. Perfect. I can be consistent with this. Okay? I cannot be consistent with me sitting down every single night and reading 50 pages. Some evenings I just can't. Or it's too late. Or 1 million other things. Find a way to make the thing that you want to do easy. When things that are too difficult are not sustainable. So my general advice now is, when you're thinking about adding something into your day, think about sustainability first. Can I maintain this easily? Okay, easily. Remember the word easily. That needs to be easy for me to maintain. For example, can I do one podcast a week? I want to start a podcast. Okay, when I started this podcast, I had to increase my productivity. So I started thinking, okay, I kind of want to do a podcast, like answering questions. I feel like I've got things to say. I've got good knowledge on multiple topics. So how am I going to do it? I tried before. I tried having guests. Too difficult to get people, I need to agree time with them. Who am I going to talk to now? I need to reach out to this guy, to that guy. What if he can? What if he can't? What are we going to talk about? Too much. Immediately red light. Unsustainable. Okay? So scrap that. I can't do that because it's not going to be sustainable. Why am I going to start something if I'm just going to stop? This is the whole point. I don't want to do that. I want to start something and stick to it and showcase my discipline. But I'm smart about it. It's not all muscle. Oh, let's go, discipline. Smart. You want to be smart. Okay? And that way, you're working on your discipline. When I feel like I'm comfortable with one episode a week, maybe I can pick it up if it's possible. But if I don't see a way of making it sustainable, then I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to stick to one. You see, 17 weeks now. The episode is out. I've done it. Boom. Consistency. If I said, or from tomorrow I'm starting a podcast, 3 episodes a week, I would have failed already. Probably I would have stopped. I'm like, no point, I can't do it. But I don't do it. I'm smart about it. And whenever I'm ready, if I ever get ready, I feel like this is a good pace for me, I'm gonna pick up the pace. Same with whatever you wanna do. Let's say I wanna start working out. All right, you don't work out. Put one workout a week and stick to it. If it's the easiest workout, 10 minutes a day on a Monday, let's say. Okay, I'm gonna add this and I'm gonna stick to it from now on. Can I do 10 minutes on Monday? Every single Monday? Yeah, when am I gonna do it? Let's think about it. So, okay, every Monday, when I get home from work or school, immediately I'm gonna do a 10-minute workout. There you go, boom, okay. All right. And now that's it, that's done. You've made a decision, you stick to it no matter what. Boom, done. I'm doing this on that day from now on for the foreseeable future. What I like to think and say, I don't do anything that I am not planning to sustain forever, basically. Forever is a bit of an overstatement, but you get my point. This is just my philosophy, my outlook. That's why I'm so consistent with things. I'm gonna start coaching. Okay, I want to be a coach. Well, become a coach. That means no weekends for me. Okay, what else does that mean? No vacations for me, unless it's Christmas or it's summer break. Am I willing to do it? Yes. If it's too much for me, well, then I should have known, right? And because of that, like how many years now? I've been coaching for 6 years now. The amounts of sessions that I've missed can be counted on. For 6 years, in 6 years, I've probably missed about 7 sessions, probably. And 3 of them have been because I've been doing my coaching course, which was on the day of whatever, of my session. I don't miss. I never had a weekend where I had to say, oh no, this weekend. No. Good enough. Every weekend, okay, I know. That's it. Podcast once a week. That's it. Let's get on it. I start training. Combat sports. Can I do every Saturday afternoon? Yeah, okay. That's it. Boom, that was set. Every Saturday afternoon I was there. All right, I need to add something else. Spice it up a little bit. Tuesday evening. Can I do Tuesday evening forever? Probably from now on. Yeah, okay. Tuesday evening is booked. Boom, let's go. And I started building up. So over the course of so first for a couple of months I just did Saturday. Then I added Tuesday evening for about 4 or 5 months. Then I added a Monday afternoon. And I've been on this Monday afternoon from last November till this. Obviously, I just got injured. I haven't missed a session from last November till this one, till 2 weeks ago, basically. Then I was like, okay, Thursday evening, I added it. I've only missed 2 sessions because I was in Bulgaria in the summer. I added the Thursday evening in February, I think. So from February to October, 8 months, I've missed 2 sessions. So I do not miss. When I am adding something to my day, I make sure, am I ready for it? Am I comfortable with what I'm doing currently? So I can put more on my plate. Yeah, okay. And I do it, boom. So until you kind of get filled to the top, and when you're completely filled out, then you start thinking about, okay, efficiency. Can I make this more efficient? Can I make that more efficient? But this is now a different level. We're gonna stick to the basics now. how to be more productive. This is how to plan a productive day. Plan it in a way so that you can do it again. Simplest advice that I can give. You want to do it again. If you don't do it again, then there's no point. One day is not going to make a change in your life. 50 days might. 100 days will. A year is going to make a big change. 5 years, you're a different person. So yeah, that's the advice that I would give. Okay, and another thing now I'm gonna last couple of minutes, 50 minutes in, we've got another 10. Sometimes when I think of something really smart, or let's say an original thought, it's probably not very original, but I was thinking about it and I got to that conclusion just by myself. I didn't really read it somewhere. I always make sure to kind of write it down. Hey, I thought of that. That was kind of smart, you know. I'm a little bit impressed with myself. So what I've written down here is a simple life. So this is, to be fair, on the topic. That wasn't planned. I just had it. I just have like a little notebook that I just put notes in, whatever. Anyway, simple life slash routine gives you the space and time to think and to make progress. Okay? That's my original thought. So you need a simple life or a routine. So you need to be doing the same thing every day. The same thing. This is going to give you the space and time that you need mentally. Because you when you have a routine, your brain knows what's happening. Your brain is prepared. Okay? You don't use any mental energy to think about, what am I gonna eat today? What am I gonna do? Your brain knows, so your brain kind of puts you in autopilot. Some people use that to become zombies, every day just do nothing. Okay, if you're smart, you can use it though. Some of the wisest people ever, you lived a very simple life. Imagine the philosopher, the old sage in the mountains, or the samurai that is a farmer. Samurai and sages. I always end up there, don't I? I love them. I'll be one day. Imagine me, white beard, hopefully white hair as well. Hopefully I'm not bald by then. If I am, to be honest, I'll go Turkey, get a hair transplant. I want to make sure that I'm old with white hair and white beard, and I'll go and live in the mountains. Maybe grow my own tomatoes or something. Have a dog, maybe. Not really. Anyway, and I just think I live very peacefully. That's. I'll do that. Definitely, I'll do that, and I'll be making my podcast episode 5572. White. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Anyway, I don't want to go off topic, but I did. So, some of the smartest people ever had a really simple routine. That freed up space for them to think and to make progress. Why you need to think? Well, when you think, you can see more things, understand more. I think my personal opinion is life is about depth. I think depth of experience. Obviously, it's about what's the word? Like a lot. You want to have a variety, okay, of knowledge and experience and everything, but you want to have depth. You don't want to be superficial. Superficial is used as a negative word when you talk. This guy's very superficial. What does that mean? Oh, he just likes brands and material things. He's superficial. He doesn't really have any substance to him. He's not really a deep person. Deep, I don't like that word, but anyway. So but you wanna have some depth to you and to your thoughts. You don't wanna be just on the surface. Barely a human, barely not an animal. All I think about is what am I gonna eat tomorrow, and what did I eat yesterday, and oh, I really like this salad. Oh yeah, it's amazing. Oh, sorry, my egg was overcooked. You wanna think about the more interesting things. It's not just about eating and yeah, all the most basic needs of a human. That's what makes it cool to be a human. You can think about different things, about abstract ideas. So you want to have a little bit of depth. How do you uh, mm, how do you reach a deeper level is you have to actually be thinking, and simplicity gives you that space to think. Because people go, oh, I want to travel, I want to go here and there. Okay, yeah. Of course, you're going to learn some things when you travel in the brief moments when you're not drunk or when you're not thinking, where am I going to sleep tonight? If you're this type of traveler. But you don't really get to really contemplate things, get to a deeper understanding. Read. You get this by having a routine, reading different books, thinking about stuff. Okay, contemplating ideas, topics, different stuff, going over it in your head over and over again. The more you look at one thing, you find over time, you find new ways to see it. And you find that your mind starts coming up with stuff to kind of not just entertain you, but when you're that's gonna sound bad, but let's say your life is gray, meaning like very monotonous, simple, whatever. Use it as a negative if you want. For me, gray is not negative. Life is gray. Well, then your brain is forced to bring in color into your life. So your brain starts working, hopefully. And it starts giving you, oh, you have this insight into things. Oh, and then you learn to appreciate things in a new way. Something that you've seen 1,000 times on time number 1001, like, wow, I never noticed how beautiful this is. Look at how beautiful that tree actually is. Just stuff like that. I sound like I'm a Buddhist monk, but I'm not. This is real. What I'm saying is real. People just want a different experience. I think that your mental life can be very rich if you make it so. If you just rely on the outside world to keep you entertained and keep you learning and evolving, I don't think you're gonna reach as far as if you're more, you know, more of a thinker. Meaning, yeah, yeah. And then progress as well. Progress is made. Progress requires time. My tongue is not working. Progress requires time. To make progress, let's say in a sport, you need to train every day. Can you train every day? Can you train every day and have a different mad schedule all over the place every day? No, you can't. You need a routine. So you need a little bit of simplicity. Yeah, train in the morning, eat, sleep, train in the evening. Next day, train in the morning, eat, sleep, train in the evening. Next day, train in the morning, eat, sleep. So it's kind of the same, but this is the only way that you're gonna make progress. And again, because of that routine opens up space and gives you like a breathing room, metaphorically, for your brain. So your brain is now, okay, I know what's happening. All right, let me start giving you crazy ideas and outstanding insights into human nature and just everything. And your brain just starts working so much better because it's free. It's free to, yeah. Your brain power is now all of a sudden released from its cage that is everyday life's necessities, like cook food and what am I gonna eat tonight, where am I gonna go tomorrow, and all that stuff, mundane business. You've kind of streamlined that process. I know what I'm eating, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing, and now your brain is like, oh my god, I'm completely free. I can think about whatever I want to think about. Let's think about something. I want some. Your brain wants a challenge. You want something interesting, and that's my experience. To be honest, I believe though it's not just my experience. Uh, yeah, that was my insight. So yeah, so hopefully you can think about it and maybe see my point. I think it's a good point. It's a good point for me. So hopefully you can see the benefit. If not, then at least I've seen the benefit. So one person has benefited from it. I'm quite happy about it, to be honest. That's why when someone says the word monotonous, it's a bit of a fancy word, or routine, boring, I'm like, oh yeah, I start getting excited. I'm happy. Yes, I want boring. I want to do the same thing every day. That's fine, no problem. Because then I've got my space and I've got my time. Okay, so I can start thinking about what am I gonna work on, what am I gonna learn, what am I gonna be getting better at, because I've got the routine set. Boom, let's work around it now. Let's see what space I have left. But if everything is different, that's a torture for me. Torture. Yeah, it's got its negatives, but yeah. Anyway, that's it from me, Mr. Milchev, Mr. Coach. And thanks for watching. And I'll be back next week.